What? We rotated the whole squad. Come like bank holiday Monday, cause the whole damn team got the day off. No Victor Lindelof to Wanza Bay. Let me see what you're made of.
Show me.
What? Man City won the league, I'm sitting like 10 points off. What? We rotated the whole squad. Come like bank holiday Monday, cause the whole damn team got the day off. No Victor Lindelof to Wanza Bay. Let me see what you're made of.
Show me.
What? Man City won the league, I'm sitting like 10 points off. What?
Yo, it's the OT99 Banter Room where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. Look, we're back again with another show. It's your boy Therms and it's your boy NK. And today we are going to talk about Manchester United's L against Leicester City today. Look, NK, I don't know about you yet, but for me, I saw that lineup and called it already. Remember I messaged you, I called it and said, you know what, Man United is catching it L today, but it's fine. Because it's never fine actually to catch it L, but I was just like, considering what Ollie's trying to focus on and considering the impact it has on our certain sort of rivals, I don't want to mention right about now. I felt good. I felt like it was a bit of a cheeky tactic, but what do you think, man?
You know what? I still thought we could have got results today. I really thought we could have got some results today because the lineup, I mean, we had some kind of like experienced players in there. Matthijs and experience, Matej Van der Beek. I thought there was a few players there that was supposed to kind of like prove themselves out today. But that 2 day, that kind of like 1 day rest just was always going to go against us, to be honest with you. Because as you know, one thing that Man United will rely on again, under Ole is individual brilliance. And once you take those kind of like big star players off, we just know what's going to happen today. But we still gave them a good game, though. We still did give them a good game.
We gave them a good game, man. Especially in the first half, we was doing all right. You know, I mean, obviously Mason Greenwood got that goal, but I just felt like it was too many changes for Manchester United to make. We can't make that many changes and expect us to go out and get a result against a somewhat first team of Leicester, basically. I think the only guy that was resting was Maddison. They had everyone else on the pitch in Didi, Vardy, Iheanacho, all of them. So for me, I was expecting it. Oh, like I said, I predicted it, but I was still excited to see. It felt like a pre-season game, like you got these new signings and you want to see how they work. You know, like when you start thinking about, oh, I think we got our fix. We got our craving in terms of, as Manchester United fans, in terms of wanting to see other players get a chance to play and seeing what they're about. For the full 90 minutes, I wanted to see that. And I think, and we'll get onto some of the star players, but I was happy to see, you know, them all get minutes, man. I was happy to see it. I know it cost us 3 points, but I was happy to see it. But one of the stand-up performers for me was Matic. Now, for me, I feel like Matic was the man of the match for me because he marshaled that midfield. I know we got battered in the second half and we couldn't sort of get out of our half, but he marshaled, especially, he couldn't do it all himself, but he marshaled that midfield he broke up play. Do you know what I mean? His feet were nimble. I don't know if you noticed, but he had really good nimble feet. He looked like he was like 21. And he made some good passes as well. And I was thinking, you know, Matic, has he still got more in the tank? Are we making a mistake of letting him go? I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? Today's game, when I saw the lineup, I feel like because we were talking about having a good squad to kind of like challenge for the Premiership. So today's game was about, it was like a justify your inclusion, who you keep and who you let go today, you know. And Matic's performance today, it's a shame because the way he played this season, a question why he hasn't got much games compared to the McFred, you know, compared to McTominay and Fred. Because today, what he does best is because we try to play from the back. And he was able to get the ball from the back and detect the ball. I mean, some of his passing was a bit kind of like rusty. He gave the ball away 1 or 2 times, but that happened because he hasn't been playing for much of the game. So like his sharpness wasn't there. But he done very well in the first half. The only mistake that he done was for the goal. Because him and Twanzebe, they both kind of like went to press the guard at the same time. And then he just done the quick run and then left a big space there for them. But apart from that, he was very good today. I love the way that when the fullback pushes on, he dropped deep And then he kind of like became like a test kind of a centre back to get a ball and just kind of like start going, because Bailly and Tuanzebe, they're not really good on the ball. So he done that very, very well today, and he worked really, really well to him. Van der Beek in the middle, I was impressed with him, but I feel like because of his age, and then you know how old he is, if he stays, it's going to be McTominay and Fred. I want someone who is going to come more and challenge those two. So I don't know, because of his age, I'll be surprised if he's still there next season.
Same. I think Mourinho's going to do us. He's going to do one and try and get Matic, because he loves Matic. He takes him everywhere. He probably might even try and get David De Gea as well. But I mean, Matic, like you said, he was dropping deep, collecting a ball off the defenders. When fullbacks are pushing up, he was dropping deep, covering as well. He had an excellent performance. And you just wonder why we don't see that performance more often on a consistent basis when he plays. I mean, sometimes
he don't get a chance. To be honest, he don't get a chance. When you play this one-off game, it's very hard, because today, for example, if you saw the way our team was playing, we lacked that final passes. We were misplacing a lot of the passes too,
Both teams.
But like most of the players were guilty of that, and you can just tell that they were not like the match sharpness wasn't there, But he's one player that sometimes you just need to. I feel like if you give him more chance, like how you've been giving Fred and McTominay, because let's face it, those two hasn't done so much superb to kind of like keep matches out of the lineup. He's not playing because only just, I don't know what it is. I feel like he want to play kind of like quick football, and matches don't maybe suit the kind of like game that he plays, but he'll be a good signing for a team. I feel like he'll be perfect for the Italian league if it does go. But I don't know.
Or one of them.
Benfica or somewhere. Just like I feel like the Premiership is a bit kind of like too fast for them. But sometimes it's not just about the pace. Sometimes it's about the intelligence and picking up the pass. And today he done that very good today. Yeah,
he done that well. And I feel like he's an example of what I mean by a quality. Like that performance today, was an example of what we're looking for on a consistent basis, on a regular basis. He's someone that, if you think about Scott McTominay and Fred, I say this many times, these are guys, when you think about them, Scott McTominay's in advanced positions a lot of the time. He's like a box to box. Fred is chasing the ball a lot of the time. He'll break up play here and there, but there's no one that's dictating the tempo, controlling it, marshalling the midfield. And Matic, at times today, we can see elements of that in his game, where it was marshalling the midfield, controlling it, picking it up from the defense, moving it on to the attack at times. And that's what we need on a regular basis, consistently. And whether it's Declan Rice that can do that for us, or someone else, then we need to look into it, because you can see how much it can impact on our game.
Yeah, he was just like a perfect example. Like today, when he received the ball, even though they were pressing him, he never panics. He still take his time, whether he's kind of like turn around and kick the ball. Like that's something you don't really kind of like associate with like Fred. Fred will panic and just kind of like just give like a damn pass, and then boom, straight away they kind of like counter. But Matty, he was very kind of like very calm on the ball. When he get the ball, they will be pressing him, and then he will still kind of like take his time, like turn around, pass the ball, or like he was very calm on the ball. And that's sometimes what you need from your defensive midfielder. Yeah. Very calm and very composed on the ball. Yeah.
So moving on to Mata, man. So obviously Mata's, a good guy. He's loved at the club, the board. Everyone loves Mata. He's a cool guy. He's a United guy. Today he got his chance to play. I was happy for him. And I was watching, I was particular of Mata and Donny van der Beek, in terms of how they link up. When I looked at that team, I thought, okay, it's going to be really important how Donny van der Beek and Mata, they're similar type of intelligent players, how they link up today. Now, I liked Mata. I like Mata's performance today. It wasn't like a 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 or anything like that. But for someone who is, it was his first start since what they said November or something like that. He looked very fit. He looked active, and he contributed well today. So you remember his pass from a deep line pass to Amad Diallo, spot on accuracy. Amad Diallo controlled it and then slipped it into Mason Greenwood, and the rest was history. But you know what I mean? I liked Mata's involvement. That pass in particular stood out, and I just felt like with Mata again, he's one of these players that. It's sad because he gets used a lot of the time with the B team type squad. We saw it last season and even the season before that. He hardly gets an opportunity these days now to play with the first team where he can show his quality and bounce of quality around him. But again, it's looking like Mata's going to be a guy that could potentially be on the way out as well. it could potentially be on the way out because, you know.
Yeah, to be honest with you, one thing about Mata is like, he has been one of those players that you can say has been like a bad recruitment, because we bought him when he was at Chelsea. He was a number 10 at Chelsea, and when we bought him and when he came, he was supposed to play number 10, but Rooney wanted to play there. So since he's been at Man United, he has never really played at his preferred number 10. He's always been stuck on the right-hand side. Today, he played as a number 10, and he was very good. He was dropping deep, picking up the balls, putting the passes. And obviously, as you saw the goal, he dropped deep, collect the ball, and then done that kind of like long passes. That's what he's good in doing in the team. But the question is, at Man United, he has never got the opportunity to play in that number 10 role. And I don't ever see him playing there. He's not good on the right-hand side as the winger. He's not do that. He's not going to do what Pogba does, because Pogba got the legs to be running around. He's not good to be doing that. So a question where you're going to kind of like play him, you know, when everybody is kind of like fit. And yeah, today he was very excellent. He just done the basic that you needed. Got the ball, one-touch football, pass it, gave it away. Gave it to him and then make the run. He was very. I was watching him today, and for the first half, I said, "Look, he was my man of the match for the first half. He was very good. Like, he was very the way he was even interchanging with some of the players and everything. I was impressed with him. He doesn't even look like someone who hasn't played for a very long time. And according to them, they said like the last time he started was around like February or so, and he didn't even show at all today.
And he, you know what, right? When I saw that pass and how he was moving around on the pitch, right, carrying a ball again, carrying it up to the attack, I was thinking, this is what I wanted to see from Donny van de Beek, right? The ability for him to spray that ball from deep and find his man Amad Diallo is what we need Donny to be doing. If we need to be able to create a position where Donny can thrive in this team, because right now, you know, in our last discussion, our episode was talking about how Donny fits in. And when I saw Mata today, I was thinking, could Mata be that guy who is a stopgap in games like this, where he plays in the middle instead of Donny van de Beek? And if Mata works out playing alongside a Matic, like for these bit part games, whilst we rest guys, what again does that mean for Donny van de Beek? You know, because it's not a good look. And I saw Mata and Donny van de Beek are, for me, they're similar guys. They're guys that are called tickers. They're guys that keep the ball ticking. You know, they play short, simple passes, sweet touches, and keep the ball moving. But it's not necessarily when you want that penetrating ball from like deep, like maybe Bruno can do or even Pogba can do. These guys are not necessarily the guys to be able to do that on a consistent basis. However, Mata today found that pass and it raised eyebrows to me. I was thinking, I felt like I was the Rock.
Yeah, I mean, today, as I said to you, I feel like today, Van der Beek was one interesting kind of a player today I wanted to kind of like have a look at, because obviously, as we said, like high up the pitch, it's very hard for him to get game time high up the pitch because there's so much competition there. I don't know where he is at, because the number 10 position, he cannot play there. So the only question that today, only kind of like drop him deep today. And today, from watching the way he played, I don't think he's far off from challenging with Fred and with McTominay today. I was very impressed with something like he was tracking back. He dived in with one or two kind of like tackles today too. And then he's very good on the ball too. So he was doing a little bit of like one-touch passing with like Mata and everything. The performance he done today, maybe he just need to work a little bit on the bit of like defensive bait, kind of like a bit of the defensive bait. But what he done today, I don't know. There wasn't no difference between like the way he played today and the way Matic played. On Sunday, to be honest with you. So I don't. If you give me some kind of like game chance in the DM, if we don't get a DM, I feel like that deep he can do something over there. He didn't do bad today, to be honest.
He was okay, but he didn't. I mean, with Donny van de Beek, because I know the reputation that he has and I know what he's done at Ajax, I'm always looking for more for him. I'm always looking for more from him. And it's just like, obviously, it's not his fault at times where he hasn't had that much game time. But then you look at guys like Mata, who also hasn't had that much game time. And, I feel like Matters at the end of he's an experienced guy, he's intelligent obviously, but he's coming to the end of his career. He's bowing out. He's soon going to be moving on probably next season to a slower league and, you know, playing calm football. Then you have someone that's in the early stages, like his prime, a young guy like Donny van der Beek. And you saw what he's done with Ajax, got to, you know, latter stages of Champions League. I just expect more from this guy. And I'm just thinking, is it a case where, you know, he's not getting enough game time? Or really and truly, is he just not fitting into our system and our style of play? And Donny van der Beek, yeah, he did okay today, but he didn't set the world alight. And, you know, you would have expected someone like him, right, where he's one of the most senior players, even though he is only 23 or so, to be taking the game by the scruff of the neck for our team and be able to be like more authoritative over the youngsters. You know, he needs to be that guy that we're looking up to, saying like, wow, like, you're doing amazing stuff. And I just didn't get that.
Yeah, but the only difference today is like today, for example, Mata was playing in his natural position. Mata has always been a number 10, you know. If Mata was playing on the right-hand side today, he would have probably have a different game than he did have today. You know, where Van der Beek too, he was playing as a what do you call it, deep today. Naturally, that's not where he plays naturally. So it was kind of like a whole new position for him today. So the question was, he just like, as I said to you, going forward play that is not good, like defensive midfield, is he going to be okay? Only time will tell, but he is one person today. I feel like, because today, some of the players that I was watching whether to keep or go, he just done it. His performance today, just say that, give him one more season. That's what his performance today is.
He passed your scouting.
Yeah, his performance today is like, what do you call it? Give him one more chance. That's it.
Do you know what? Let's move on to someone that has been lighting up the stage of recent. Mason Greenwood, man. Mason Greenwood. So now we talked about, obviously, Matters pass from deep to Amad Diallo. Amad Diallo got the assist. Good on him. But Mason Greenwood, right? He's unstoppable. So what is he on now? 12 goals, all competitions this season, right? He's been banging in goals of late. I think he's got, 8 and 8 or something along those lines.
7 in the Premier League now. 7 in the Premier League now, yeah.
He left foot, right foot was amazing. So obviously there's that discussion of Cavani getting his contract extension. That means that we're not going out for another striker. And then Greenwood is obviously going to be playing out wide for most of the season. It's looking like for now, potentially competing with Sancho. I'm just thinking, with Mason Greenwood, I feel like his progression is coming along very fine. And you remember I told you, like in previous episodes, that I'm not even worried about Mason Greenwood in terms of his goal output, even though it's lower than last season, because what I'm seeing in Mason Greenwood is a better player because of all the other attributes that he's adding to his game. It's just a lot more of a complete player. And if he continues on this trajectory of learning his movement, his body strength, do you know what I mean? His interlinking play, all of that sort of stuff, playing with his back to go at times, running in, cutting into the box, left foot, right foot, he's going to grow into an elite striker. And what we're seeing is that, and I'm very happy that Edinson Cavani signed his contract, because it allows an additional 12 months for Mason Greenwood, who's like a sponge, to be able to absorb everything he can from Cavani before he eventually leaves over to South America. So for me, look, Mason Greenwood, man, he's the future, man. He's the future.
Yeah. Today, like when I saw I saw that he was leading the line. I said, okay, then let me watch him closely. And it will be a shame. And after today's performance, I am definitely sure next season he is not going to be playing on the right hand side. He is definitely going to be the backup to to Cavani. I feel for Martial in this team. I really, really feel for Martial in this team, because today that goal that Greenwood is one of those ones. He just needs a sniff of the goal, and he's going to hit the target. It's not something you associate too well with like Martial, So I feel like going next season, I see Cavani being that number 1 striker, and I see Greenwood being the second striker. Martial might start as the second one, but Greenwood will shift him off there. Greenwood, because today one of the things I was so happy about today was like his hold up play. He gave Ndidi a hard time today. Today, indeed, like physically today, he was very good.
Yeah.
Look, I feel like Indeed fouled him like 4 or 5 times. Like I remember one time when Indeed fouled him, he pointed to the ref like, this is the 3rd time today that he has fouled me. He was dropping deep, he was getting the ball, he was passing it. He was doing very good. And even the goal that he scored, when Ahmed gave him the ball, he still has so much to do. You know, shifted there and then just it was a great goal because when he got the ball, any striker would want to go on the left hand side, but that was where they won. But then he shifted to the right hand side and then boom, that was a goal. But I don't know. Next season, I feel like Ollie's gonna tell you like, look, you are gonna play in the middle of the pitch. That's a great thing for him next season, definitely.
I think personally that Ollie doesn't know what lineup he's going to start next season if he gets Sancho, because I think like he's going to be dependent on the players' form. So I know that Cavani is potentially going to be starting. He will get rested intermittently, with, in terms of, to keep him fit. But outside of that, I don't know if he's going to play Mason Greenwood or up top or play Martial up top and go back to Martial. Yeah, he had a bad season this season in terms of his output, but I just don't know if Ollie's going to be straight away saying, Mason Greenwood, your centre forward, Martial, you're playing backup fiddle to him, or you're competing with Rashford on the left. I can see equally Ollie starting off the season and maybe eventually reverting back to Greenwood at a later point. I can see him, saying, Martial up top, Sancho on the right, and, Mason Greenwood on the left, or vice versa. Just a lot of rotation going on because they're so versatile. They can interlink so many ways. So I think our starting lineup in terms of attack is heavily going to be based on form, and obviously injury as well. Like if everyone's fit, then it's going to be more of a decision for Ollie to make, more of a headache.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be.
Yeah, I feel like Greenwood, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like Greenwood got more goals now than Martial in the Premiership, and he's only 3 goals away because Rashford got 10 Premier League goals. Rashford got 10 Premier League goals. Greenwood now got 7, and like looking at how he first started, he had a very difficult start at the beginning of the season, and now he's like 3 goals behind Rashford. And we look at Rashford as a definite starter. Now, if Rashford is a definite starter and Greenwood is a guy that's like people are saying like Team B, and he's like only 3 goals from Rashford in the Premiership, then you know what? I'm telling you, when what do you call it? When Sancho comes, a lot of these kind of like guaranteed players are going to be looking on their shoulders too, because it means that like Sancho can play left, right, too. Same thing with Greenwood can play anywhere across the frame. So it's going to be great competition for Ole, and it means that some of the players have to step up, because if you don't step up, you lose your position.
Yeah, facts. I think the flexibility is good that Sancho can play both. I'm talking like he's already here, but it's good. It's good that he can play both wings. It's good that Greenwood can play both wings. Flexibility at the end of the day, but that also goes in their favour. Whereas guys like Rashford, he can play on the right, but he's not as effective on the right. Martial, again, is not as effective on the right. These are the guys that I'm looking at that may be most affected if Ole needs to make a tough decision come next season if he gets the players that he gets, because today, not today, sorry, but if you're looking at a game where Rashford, obviously he's not doing too well on the right, Sancho is perfect, that's his position, you're not going to go into the game starting Rashford on the right. You know what I mean? You're not going to go into the game starting Rashford on the right.
And that's the thing, because Rashford can only play realistically good on the left-hand side. He's not really good leading the line. He's not really effective too much on the right-hand side too. And now you got Pogba too, that's very effective on the left-hand side. You got probably Greenwood that can play right, center, and probably on the left too. So I feel for some of the players too. But as I said, competition is going to be great for this squad, and that's something that City got. City got a bunch of options on the team, and sometimes when you have all these options, different games call for different players, so that can be good for us too going forward too. So hopefully they go and sign Sancho in the transfer window, because that will be key for us.
It's interesting though with the Sancho things, because Greenwood, obviously we mentioned that he's got like 11 goals in all comps. Sancho, is he gonna come and bring say Greenwood, had a great season. Say if he maintained this form, who knows what Greenwood could have got in this season, but could Sancho get more in his first season or whatever? Could he get more goals or sort of have better output performance than Greenwood? Or do you feel like in a year or two, Greenwood could be doing the same type of outputs that Sancho's doing from the right. So therefore, should we save our money?
I told you in the previous shows, I told you if Greenwood was the one leading the line or getting more games than Martial did, like in the line, Greenwood will have more goals.
How about from out wide?
Sorry?
How about from out wide?
The thing about Sancho is, I don't know, it will be the first time in a Premiership. With Sancho, I will be more looking for him doing more assists than scoring goals, to be honest with you. That's what sometimes the team kind of lack. The team lack that kind of like assist too, you know. So Sancho, if he come in, I'll be more looking for his creativity more than his goal scoring ability, to be honest with you. So that's one thing. Like Greenwood can score the goals, but sometimes in the build-up play and with assists and everything, you don't really see him doing too much, and we lack a bit of creativity. If you got too much creativity coming in, it's kind of like goals going in everywhere. I'm more looking for his creativity than his goal input, to be honest.
Talking about wide men though, Elanga, what's your thoughts on him, man?
I don't think he's ready for the Premiership today. I mean, today I saw him today, and you can just tell that he's just not ready to play in like the Premiership just yet. Like in the youth level, he got great pace. You can see that he's really, really kind of like quick. Right. And when you play in the youth level, you can use your pace to beat a lot of the players. In the Premiership, these defenders, they are very kind of like smart, you know. They're not going to commit for you to just like use pace to kind of like go out there. They're very smart. Like I feel like there was one time he would try to like one of the defenders. He just literally just slow a bit down and just go him. He just didn't have the best of games today. But it was great for him to be out there though. But I don't think he's ready for the first team. I don't really see him in the long run breaking into the first. There's too much competition on there. Why is that for him to just do that? Yeah.
For me, I when I looked at him, again, like you said, he's rapid, very quick. But then I looked at his play and I thought like we kind of let him down a little bit, because I saw a guy that was making a lot of runs. He made at least 2-3 runs behind the defense, like hugging the line, and we just never saw his runs. And it raises the question again with the midfield. So obviously we're playing no Pogba, no Bruno, the guys that are the assist kings that see these runs, have that vision, and would spray a ball. Now we had, Matic and Mata, and who's the other one? Donny van de Beek. And Donny van de Beek doesn't, I don't remember him hitting any balls from deep like that and catching anyone like that. So for me, I thought, there was times I was watching the game thinking, flip, like why didn't you spray that ball? Why didn't you see that run? But overall, I agree. I feel like it's good that he's getting exposure, getting some experience. He's probably going to vanish into thin air for another year, but he's got a taster. It's got experience from him. He's got a taster of what it means like to play at the highest level against a big squad. And these guys can be proud today that they didn't get demolished by Leicester. This is a strong Leicester team. They didn't get demolished. They held their own, and we could have even nicked it at the end. So. Elanga, I would say, is not someone that should, some loans could be beneficial for a lot of these guys.
Yeah. He definitely like need a loan. He's a bit like Chong, Chong, that he was just there. They just kind of like go like.
I forgot about Chong.
Yeah, no, see, that's the thing. Like with him too, like on the 23, he was just scoring goals like left and right and everything. But sometimes there's just more to it than the speed, because as I said to you, these players can always find you with certain balls. Like it hardly happens. But sometimes one thing is when you get your man like on one-on-one, can you beat them on one-on-one? If you get a one-on-one today, most of the one-on-one opportunities that he go to kind of like dribble past the players, he just couldn't really kind of like do it today. And I was really kind of like do that. Compared with Ahmed today, if you watch the difference between him and Ahmed, you can see what Ahmed was doing on the wing. With one-on-one position, you can just see like, with Ahmed, if you make a little mistake, he's just going to dribble past you today, Whereas with like, I don't know, there was a big difference between him today and Ahmed today. Big difference today.
No. I think I saw that as well. Amad Diallo's, he's got a little something there. We need to keep nurturing that talent. But do you know what? I forgot to mention 2 guys. So one, Tuanzebe. I felt like, again, someone that's been out for so long, don't get that much game time. He looked a bit rusty. He looked a bit stiff at times. But overall, I felt like he gave a good account for himself. He made some key challenges. He ushered out the ball out of play at times where he sort of reduced the threat from the attack. And he's a guy, that I like seeing partnered by just to get a little BLM and all of that, but also like just to get a bit of understanding of, what we're lacking, because we like to complain a lot about our centre backs. And then when you take them away, you sort of see it from a different lens in terms of what we're actually working with in our defence. And after today's game, I realised that, Lindelof, Bailly and Twanza, they shouldn't be playing centre-back together for me. I just feel like you need that intelligence there to partner one of them. And I think that's what Lindelof and Maguire have. Mainly Maguire, I would say Maguire, because I think he's got a bit more strength rather than Lindelof, who he just gets sort of overthrown by every Tom, Dick and Harry. But I was missing Maguire today, man. You saw our defence, it was all over the place. I was missing Maguire. And yeah, we had speed, and yeah, we had strength, and all of that malarkey, but there was just something missing. Something missing.
Yeah. As I said, today when I was watching it, I was just looking at the place that we can ship off, like to be sold, And you know what? Twanzebe should be one of the people out of the door if we're looking for a centre back.
It expires, I think.
After this, he got one more. I don't even care if it's expired or he just needs to go. He's not good enough. He just not good enough. Like today, his decision making was very poor. Like as I told you, the first goal, for example, both matches just got stuck. I mean, they were both trying to press the same player at the same time, and that left a big gap on that side. Like he was going when he shouldn't go. I don't know. Today he was just very, very, very awful. Passing was very rusty.
Is it the rust though? Is it the rust?
Nah, you can tell when there's rust, and you can tell when, like, I don't know. He just not gonna be the top centre back that Man United need. He's not gonna be that guy. I feel we just need to just sell him. At best, I see him becoming probably like good. He's gonna be like that Aston Villa guy. Mings.
He done really well for Villa though. He got them into promotion.
Yeah, but then that's Villa, that's Villa. When he was there too, he was the guy to our Villa too. Because once again, this kind of like club, there's no kind of like pressure on you. They get to play week in, week back. Mings is good, but he's not a top centre back. If they say Man United are going to buy Mings, we're going to be pissed. We will not want him. We will not, and it's the same thing with Twanzebe too. Like
the banners have to come out green.
He'll be good there if you know that he's going to play the old games to kind of like cover centre backs here and there. But as a number one centre back, he's not there, and I feel like right now too, with Bailly there, and we're looking to get another centre back to just there, like fourth centre back. I'd rather he go there and just get him off the wage bill than just for him to just like sit there. He gotta go. Another guy that need to go to is that right back, William. he was just he also needs to go. Just sell those two today. Those two just there. I just said, just sell those two. He was very awful today. Very, very awful today.
You know what? Yeah. Do you know what? So, even though, right, Telles had a really good game. He was putting in some dangerous crosses here and there, right? He had a good game individually. But today was a replica of Roma, where we took off Shaw, we took off Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we brought on Telles, we brought on Brandon Williams, and we got peppered in defence. Opposition found it so easy to whip in crosses into our box. We were getting bullied, we were getting pressured, man. Our fullbacks were getting annihilated. The crosses were coming in with ease. Do you know what I mean? That's how, like, it's so terrible, like, how much of a drop-off it is when you take off Luke Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka and you bring on Brandon Williams and Telles. And like I said, Telles had a good game today, but the drop-off was terrible. Defensive work from Telles is nowhere near Shaw's. Shaw's is a perfectly balanced fullback. And what we're seeing in Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a guy that is a killer defender, but it's also improving his attacking game. So we've got two really good fullbacks. And what you see in Brandon Williams is someone that is still very inexperienced, still very amateuresque, still a guy that could potentially gain benefit from just going out on loan, getting a lot of games under his belt, like, Dalot and all of these people, and then seeing where it takes you. If you can raise up money, get money from these sort of loan deals, or, because if he hasn't got any future in Manchester United's club like that, what are you keeping him for if he's a good commodity where other teams are wanting?
Championship, mate. Yes, championship. No. He will be good. playing the championship. I don't even think he's good enough to even play in the Premiership. He's good enough in the championship, so he needs to go. But even today too, you know, I mean, we talk about the drop off in like performance and everything, but it was just the same old United. The 2 goals that we considered was 2 mistakes. You know, the first goal was what we do. Two players try to press at the same time. All of them were just like running. Brandon Williams was trying to kind of like go to Vardy. Vardy just done a long run, so he was out of the picture. And then the right hand side was just literally empty. Ahmed should have tracked the guy who scored the goal, but he also forgot to like track him too. So then you just do that. And the second goal too, what do I tell you? Corner kicks, corner bloody kicks. You know, if I was trying to find out how many goals we have considered from the corner kicks like this season, because it was just whoa. Right before the corner kick, we were doing substitutions, and I'm thinking normally teams don't do substitution when it comes to like corner. You know, so I know Leicester done one, but we should have literally stop making that. And if you watch,
but Cavani was coming on his good in the air.
Yes, but Cavani came on when Cavani came on and Rashford came on. When Cavani came on, the first thing that he done was he moved one of the players that was supposed to be marking the front post, and then he marked the front post. Because in the first half, most of the corner that were going there, Matic was kind of like clearing it first post. Now he went there. Now if you see the corner, you should watch the replay. Rashford was marking the guy who scored a goal. He literally left the guy. Just a little bit movement, you know. He went forward, went back, and then that was it. Rashford literally was ball watching the whole time.
He was looking at the guy and he's trying to trek back, but it was too late. Right,
it was just too late. And it just made me question that zonal marking, because Matic was the tallest guy who could probably like head of the ball, but he's standing there. If a player is running and jumping, they will have more like leap compared to someone who's already standing there marking the space, you know? Yeah. Something needs to be done about the way we defend corners, because it has been shocking. We have some really good people in the air, but it's just shocking the way we concede corner kicks. So it's something that we need to look at. I don't care who is playing. We always concede from corner kicks. So that have to be coaching. Definitely have to be coaching.
Henderson was there, would we have conceded that goal?
Oh, 100% concede that goal. No, the goal that we concede, there is nothing the goalkeeper can do about it. There's nothing, because we defend the spaces. The 6-yard ball becomes so crowded, because that's where we stake our best headers there, like the Maguire and the Tuanzebe, when our best headers are in that 6-yard box. So when the ball comes in, it's very hard for the goalkeeper to come out and rush and just like punch the ball. You hardly get that these days, you know. Goalkeepers, because people are always like standing up, so you hardly get that these days. I don't care who was in there. Henderson considered the same kind of goal when he was in there for corner kick too. Is the zonal marking we do? It needs to stop doing the zonal marking and do man marking. Let the big header players mark the big
like
ones too, and then
days.
You kind of like just
because we're always letting these guys get a run on us, and that's the problem with zonal marking. Is we let the guys step, like I see Pogba at time, like in our last game, like sort of doing the whole zonal thing where he's like a free roll guy, like he's standing in front of the keeper, free roll guy waiting to see what happens, but he's one of the best headers of the ball. If you're getting someone having a run upon you, it doesn't matter how good you are, that person's got an advantage. So you're just you're gonna falter. He should be there attacking the ball. What we should be doing is seeing that ball and attacking it as it's coming in the air. Vidic style, man. You know what I mean? Not
Vidic style. That's what I said. Vidic style. Like I hardly even see when we defend corners. I hardly see Maguire defend, like actually win the headed. I hardly see him do that. And that's because we do the zonal marking and it doesn't benefit them. So going forward, they need to change the way we defend corners. I feel like that's something we need to work on next season, especially if we want to win the Premiership or challenge for the Premiership. We got to literally take that kind of like way. Because today, if it wasn't for the corner kick, Leicester, even though they were threatening everything, they were not really making any big opportunities. If we don't consider the goal, I feel like because we considered the goal right when we made those substitutions. When Rashford and Cavani came in, that's when we considered. Because if we didn't consider that goal, I feel like we would have got a winner.
Yeah, we would have got a winner.
Yeah, we would have. And then we considered that like corner kick goal, and then that was kind of like the end of it.
So, quick question though. When I saw this lineup, I couldn't help but think, Oli, are you trying it? Are you trying to sabotage Liverpool? Obviously, he's got one mind on Liverpool. He's obviously got the other bit of his mind on the final. He really wants to keep guys like Cavani, Pogba, Bruno, and all of these guys fit for that final, and even for Liverpool's game, it seems like, because the mass changes that he did shows me that he's also thinking about that Liverpool game. But then when I saw, because look, let's put things into perspective, right? I was just checking it as you were talking. Leicester now is third, right? Leicester's third, and they are how many points above Liverpool now? Liverpool's on 57 points, Leicester's on 66 points. So they're 9 points ahead of Liverpool, right?
And Liverpool got 2 games in hand.
And Liverpool's got 2 games in hand. You're right. Liverpool's got 2 games in hand, but one of them is against us. One of them is against us. Now, Leicester's got some tough fixtures, which is
they go Chelsea, Tottenham, and I don't know who else.
Chelsea.
Did they play Liverpool too?
I'm not
sure, but they got
Chelsea, Tottenham. They've got 2 more games. Chelsea, Tottenham, because they played 36. So they got Chelsea, Tottenham, and
they've got 3 games left.
No.
Is it 2 left now? Oh, okay.
Cup, yeah,
so
yeah.
they got Chelsea and Tottenham.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Well, they're gonna beat Tottenham. That's for sure. So,
you reckon?
Because today I heard that they needed 7 points before this game to actually confirm it. Now they got 3 points now, so they need 4 games. 4 points. If like everybody win on that game, they need 4 points to like literally qualify too.
But they could lose. They could equally lose against, or they could equally draw against Tottenham and equally lose against Chelsea. Or
I think Chelsea might beat them. It's a big game on Thursday too, because as I said, with us, I don't see the players very going in like, oh yeah, let's win the game. It's a derby and stuff like that. It don't make no difference for me. I mean, if I'm a player that I'm playing, I want to make the finals. You know, I'm not gonna go and dive in. Like right now, we are sweating about Maguire like missing the finals or no, because he was they were diving into a tackle. If I'm a player, I'm not gonna be diving into tackles against Liverpool. I know it's one of those games that you dive into tackles, but I'm worrying about my place in the finals. You know, yes, you want to beat Liverpool and just kind of like get like the upper hand on them, but the people that we should be worrying about today was Man City. And we fielded a young team. Now, City are champions, you know. We are forgetting to say that, but City are champions today. Yeah. So whether Liverpool get into the Champions League or not, that was literally, I really don't care. I feel like even if we beat them, they still got a lot of work to do anyways. But I'm more worried about whether we have a healthy squad going into the finals, you know. I don't know. It's just one of those ones. Maybe Ole did, but he already said it anyway. And if anybody's understand, it's Liverpool. Did they not play their youth team in the League Cup one time too? They played their youth team in the League Cup too. I remember when they done the same thing too. So I don't know. Bro, it doesn't matter what happened today. They still have to beat us anyway. They still have to win their remaining games. So let's see if they can do that. Let's bring on Thursday too.
Come on. Can you believe though that Liverpool's won the Premier League? Now City's won the Premier League, and none of them has been able to celebrate like the way they wanted to celebrate. You know, go on the tour bus. All been during lockdown. It's like it's not got the same impact. And you know, hopefully post lockdown when we come out of it, it's United that can celebrate.
But City. I'm telling you, obviously, if they're going and win the Champions League, they are going to celebrate. They are literally going to celebrate because they're going to do a treble. Not the natural treble, but they will have the Carling Cup, Premiership, and then they will get what you call it too, the Champions League with it too. So hopefully that kind of stuff, it. But now I feel like they always go up to celebrate anyways. Maybe they might not authorize it, but some way or the other they're gonna kind of like celebrate it. But it's something as United we need to just kind of like look into it too, you know, because apparently this is City's third title in 4 seasons. You know, they've won it like 5 times in the last like 10 years.
Yeah.
You are giving these players like chances to kind of like catch up to us. Now Liverpool has won the Champions League and the Premiership. City has won the Premiership. They've been doing the doubles and stuff. Now they might win the Champions League. So it's an eye-opener. People talking about, if we sign Sancho, then we have to let someone go. We don't need to let no one go because the squad that we are competing with, these are very strong people too. You know, City's going to win the league and they might win the Champions League. And I tell you what, they're still looking at buying some of the best players too. And we are finishing second and we might win it, we might not win it. So why should we sit back? We should be more out there trying to get some of the best players. Get Harry Kane, get Sancho. Don't say, if we get Sancho, we can't get Harry Kane. If you can just get both of them, you know, we should be trying to do the double.
I never get why we always go into, because I'm guilty of it myself, talking about needed to sell one player like Martial, like, we say, where's he gonna play? Then we may have to sell him and things like Donny and stuff like that. But then, like you said, if you look at teams like Cities and stuff like that, they're competing on all fronts. They've got squads that are filled with quality, and a lot of the time we complain about, our guys that we're bringing off the bench, they ain't got that quality, and the drop off is massive. So for us, I feel like we should be adding, obviously getting rid of the dead wood. There's a lot of dead wood still there, but we need to be adding that quality to our team. We can't be talking about like for like swaps. I don't want to see Pogba being swapped in exchange for someone this season. I'd rather us keep him and run out his contract, to be fair. I don't want us seeing, even Martial, because I know the talent that he's got. I know that what he can offer. It's hard to find someone that can get you that. I mean, even though he hasn't had a good season this season, there's not guys that can do his job. And he's already here. You're going to go out and pay an extra 60, 70, 80 million.
Yeah, I have to say, keep on, like, look at City. They have Mahrez, they have Sterling, Bernardo Silva, and then they still went to go buy that Torres guy too, to add to their team, 100%. Like sometimes Mahrez don't even start. Like Sterling, for example, nowadays Sterling don't even start, a whole while him Sterling. It's not starting, but the Man United is going to say, oh, we have Rashford, so we shouldn't go get a player for them. What City does is they go all these players. So the minute someone run out of form, you just get out of the squad. Sterling hasn't scored, I think, like before the last game, he hasn't scored for like 7-8 games. What if it's United, Martial was doing the same thing, and he was too tired because we didn't have no good player to take a position. Rashford's doing the same thing. Rashford will go like 6-7 games, won't score, and still will be starting like week in and week out because we don't have no one there to compete with them like that. The minute you get these guys in, like the Sancho in, the Kane inside, everybody's on their toe. You play 3 games, you don't score a goal, mate, you go sit on the bench. What you gonna do? Yeah. You can't complain because you're on a contract. If you want to get sold, someone have to pay big money for you. And we have to just start getting to that mentality to just say, it don't matter how many star players we go, we need all of them in order to kind of like compete for the championship and then the premiership.
For me, I mean, I would definitely, obviously this is transfer talk stuff, but I'm happy Cavani's staying. And I know that he can offer us a lot next season. And if we can get, it allows us, frees up the budget for us to get guys like, Sancho, because he's going to cost quite a lot of money. I'm hearing around the 80 million mark. And then we're going to need as much money as we can to get, from player sales or whatever, to generate the funds to sort out our defensive midfield, potentially centre-back position, especially if Tuanzebe gets the move. And also right-back cover, as we've been discussing today, Brandon Williams is not the guy. If he's not the guy, then we need someone that's, experienced that can also, give something. And, we've been linked to Max Aarons and we've been linked to Kieran Trippier and all of these guys. We need to have the funds available. But the good thing is, what I'm hoping for is a wicked summer where we can plug a lot of these gaps with quality players. Come next summer, when Cavani leaves, we can say, do you know what? You can take the war chest. You can take our whole budget and blow it on someone like a Haaland or blow it on someone like a Kane. And just know, maybe we're getting that 1 signing or 2 max and we're good.
I think we'll do a madness in the transfer window, I feel like we might do a madness. My biggest problem is not even about who we're going to sign. I just want the signing in early. I just want them in early. I want them in early for the preseason so that I only say, okay, this is my squad going to the season and this is what I need to do. I don't care who we get. Just get them in early so that the team knows that, okay, we got this squad. We're going to work on this kind of like tactics going to the next kind of like season. But I don't know. I just have a feeling that it's definitely not going to be like the last transfer window where we were just struggling to buy players and we didn't know who we were getting, and then it would definitely not be like that. And especially if we win the Europa League, we've come second, we win the Europa League, and I feel like the whole squad will be sitting there thinking like next season we want to push City all the way. It's not going to be like, no one is going to say we're going lucky getting second place. I mean, a lot of people are going to say that because Liverpool had the injuries, but deep down we've been good. We've been good. We've lost less games. Well, now we've lost 5, same amount of City now. We've lost less games. Our unbeaten away has been very, very kind of like good. So, I mean, the players are going to sit there to feel like, we just need a little bit more and we can just do that. They will not sit there feel like we got second place by lucky. I don't think no one will feel like that. They will feel like We got second place. We won the Europa League. Now we just need 1 or 2 free quality players, and we can push on to push City all the way next season. We don't care if Liverpool get all their defense right, or if Chelsea kind of like just do that. We can still be better than this kind of like teams, and that's the kind of like mentality we have to go in there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, NK, man. There you have it. That was another show, another wrap-up, another full-time wrap-up. Do you know what I mean? I can't say I'm happy about today, but if it means that it makes United, sort of Liverpool's chances of finishing in top 4 that much more difficult, or top 5 or 6 or whatever it is you need to get into Europa League, you know what? At least I can sleep at night knowing that, you know, they may go into next season not competing for anything. But yeah, City, like you said, are champions. They lift the Premier League trophy. I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear about it on the papers, but we are going to be hearing about it. But you know what? We can also make our season, you know, a little bit better by winning the Europa League, you know, getting that under our belt, celebrating what we can by lifting that trophy as well and ending on a high. And then it's all about the summer, baby. So for me, do you know what I mean? We move, man. We move.
Bring on Thursday, eh? Bring on Thursday.
Look, bring on Thursday. Look, this is the OT99 Banter Room where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. Liverpool, you're going to get the smoke. We're out.